Hey, good morning you all. God bless you and welcome back to my channel. I really do appreciate it. As you can see now, my channel says that I am Survival Skills and Others with Mike Reed. So I appreciate you watching. I really do. Now today, you all, I'm looking for a place to bow hunt. And I like to get into the woods way before season opens up so that I can find a really good place that, that looks like it might be productive. So I'm in the higher elevations, of course, because this is where the big boys are going to hang out. There's no question about it. Before they start chasing does, these big horned deer will be in these higher elevations. And right now I'm right about 3,500 feet heading toward the top of the mountain. So let me take a look around through here, and I'm going to take you with me so that you can see just exactly how I go about finding that perfect place to set up a stand or a ground blind to go hunting. So one of the things I see right off of the bat here in these mountains this year, you all, is that acorns didn't hit like they did last year. Okay, now acorn trees, especially white oaks, will take a season off and not produce any mast whatsoever. But so far this year, the deer that I have been seeing have had some really huge racks on them. Now I know that we can't eat the horns off of a deer, but when we go hunting, we would like to kill one of those deers like my dad used to talk about, a bragging buck. My dad always called, Mike, don't shoot that little deer, you kill something that you can brag about. I'm saying, Dad, you can't eat the horns, but you know how dads are, that's what he would tell me. But I see there are a few red oak acorns. But the deer, before season opens, will have most of these acorns consumed. So let's see if I can find a place here that's got plenty of mast and plenty of places where the deer can lay down and hide and come and go between these particular areas, which is what you really got to do. As when the people who lived here way before we did, the Indians, they knew how to look over an area because, they lived in communities where that the only reason they could survive there is because they knew where the game was going to be, and they would then take advantage of that. So you've got to do the same thing as a hunter. You've got to figure out where them deer are congregating, and especially when you see them, if you're going through a place like this, you've got to figure that out and then set your stand up accordingly. Does that guarantee you a buck deer? Not really. Okay. Now, lots of people in different areas of the country hunt over bait. Here in Virginia, it's illegal to hunt over bait. Okay. In other words, you can't throw out anything that a deer can smell, taste, or lick without that being illegal. But anyway, that's just the way the law is. You know how the laws are. The federal government definitely don't want you to be able to be self-sufficient, and that really terrifies them when the people are self-sufficient, because they can think for themselves. They don't have to worry about the government putting a biscuit on their table. But let's get out here in the outdoors and look around and see what we can do, you all, to be self-sufficient. Several piles of bear dung here, so the bear are coming in here, and naturally they're going to compete for these, what acorns or nuts there is in this particular area right here. Looks like a good place too. Let's get up here and see if we can find a place to sit down for a moment. Now, believe it or not, you all, let me just turn right straight around right here. Now you'll notice that this is an open area right smack in the middle of the top of the mountain. This is actually a good location to hang a deer stand if you like to hang deer stands, or build yourself a blind, which is what we're going to do right here. Okay, we're going to build a ground blind so that I can get in it. Then I will be the only one that knows it's here, because most people, you all, don't hunt 100 yards from their vehicle. But I'm not that kind of hunter. So I'm going to set this camera up, and we're going to throw up a blind right here that I can actually get behind, and then I'll mark it on my map, and I'll know just exactly where it's at, because first time I've ever been in this section of the National Forest. All right, you all, you can see I've got two giant trees right here. Right here's a good big red oak tree, and over here's a huge birch. So in between these trees is where I'm going to be sitting. Simply just going to use whatever we've got here, you all, to create a blind. That's all it really takes right there, you all. Now, what I'll do is I'll drag in something here that I can actually sit on, because sitting on the ground is just hard on your back, and anybody knows that. First of all, they'll let me mark it on my Google Maps. It's pretty easy to do if you all don't know how to do this. Simply pull up your Google Maps, and if you've got your tracking on, you've got to have, they got to be tracking you, of course. And let me get up here a little bit closer. Then you'll see your blue dot. What you do is you zoom in on your blue dot, and then you put a mark, or you just dropped a pin on your blue dot, okay? Then you're going to have the option there to click save. So we'll click save, and we will make it hunting blind. Yeah, you can spell right, Mike. B-L-I-N-D, hunting blind. B-L-I-N-D, hunting blind. Deer. Then all you got to do is create. So now, I don't think you all will be able to see this, but I'll see if I can show you. You can see that I've got that flagged right there. I can find this place in the dark with my cell phone, easy as pie. Now you all, while I'm making up some noodles here to eat this morning, you know, lots of times people will go through this whole scenario right here, and they'll never use it at all. They will just totally forget about it. And one of the reasons they do, I think, is because they just don't have any patience whatsoever, okay? And to take a good deer, I'm talking about one of these bragging bucks my dad always talked about. It takes patience. You can't just get out here and expect that deer just to walk up on you the very first day that you come in here. I mean, you might hunt the entire season and never see a deer in this spot right here. But I know for a fact if you'll be patient and make your place that you're hunting here comfortable, you could actually bring one of those pop-up blinds and set it up right here between these two trees, okay? But since I don't carry that kind of stuff, I utilize what, you know, is laying right here in the woods. Is exactly what the Indians would do. Whatever debris was laying in the woods, they would make them a blind out of it, and they would use that blind, whether you're deer hunting with a rifle or you're deer hunting with a bow, whichever one. So patience is the key to killing you a nice deer. Now I know for a fact that if you're going around the top of the mountain right here, you're going to come out right on the very top where you can look over into Pearisburg. And when you're doing that, I'm down below the top probably a quarter of a mile. Most of the time, your scent will be taken down the mountain. In the cold weather, your scent will just naturally be flowing down the mountain. However, the deer that are coming up the mountain can smell you. The ones that are up above you and circling around won't be able to smell you, and those will probably be the ones that make the mistake of getting in the edge of this clearing right here. So that's just one of the tricks of the trade that you have to understand. You know, lots of people like them deer stands up in the tree. I really never did like to hunt out of it. And since you all, I am up high in the mountain, let's talk about this right here. Shot placement on the deer that you're going to shoot. That's the most critical thing that you can do for an animal, is put that shot in the right place the first time, so that that deer, he may run just a little ways, but he's not going to run for miles and miles. It's probably from here to the bottom of the mountain, it's probably 1.5 miles to the bottom of the mountain. I don't want to have to chase a deer all the way down to the bottom of this mountain with no way of getting it back out of here except chopping it up and bringing it out in my backpack. Okay, that's just no fun at all. So shot placement, whether you're hunting with a bow, a crossbow, or a high-powered rifle, shot placement is critical on any ground that you're hunting on. And right in here, my shot is going to go to the heart of the deer or to the deer's brain if I'm using a high-powered rifle. That's just the way it's going to be. That deer is not going to run very far when I shoot it with a bow, and it's not going to run anywhere if I shoot it with a high-powered rifle. So just remember that. And I know there's lots of people out there that say, and I've done it before, that's why I know. Shot placement is where and how you get that deer on the ground so that you can utilize the thing, and the coyotes don't get it. And you all, another thing that I like about this particular spot right here, that I'll turn the camera around there and let you see that. I've got a place where I can build a campfire that's got a big rock face on it, where the campfire cannot be seen unless you're flying a drone overhead. Uh, that for me, that's critical. I don't like people knowing where my campsite is, because you'll come in here and there'll be somebody else sitting in the thing. But I can stretch a tarp from this tree right here down over this front of this blind right here and have a weatherproof spot to sleep in if I want to do an overnighter here. But right around here, let me just show you this. You can see this big rock right here. I can build a fire right in front of this rock. See how tall that is? It's over 36 inches high. So nice fire here. It reflects the heat back this way. Well, Mike, why would you do that if you're deer hunting? Folks, I've killed deer right over campfires before. Deer don't care if you got a campfire built. That does not disturb them. Now, you all, let me say this in this video. Since I'm not going to be doing wild plant medicine videos anymore on my YouTube channel, that doesn't mean if you have a question about something, about a plant here in my neck of the woods, and I'm talking about here in the Allegheny Mountains, if you all still have questions about plants, I don't care which one it is, you can still email me at readmike279@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to answer your questions where Google won't be able to censor it, okay? But since they censor videos that they don't like, that's just one way of curing that problem. If you still have a question about a wild plant, you send me that photograph like you used to. Email it to me. I appreciate it if you'll do really good, clear pictures of them. And if you'll do that for me, I will tell you what it's used for. Also, tell you whether or not you shouldn't be using it, okay? But like I've said before, I am not a doctor, and I'm not about to prescribe you any type of wild plant or any type of medicine. I'm just telling you what your ancestors used way before these idiots come to Washington, D.C. and then started Google. All right? If you think about it, why in the world would they get mad about you posting a video about a plant on Google, on a Google platform, when you can literally go on Google and look up any plant you want to and how it's used and why it was used that way? Because that's what most people do anyway. When you see a video, and I've done the same thing, when you see a video about a wild plant and you don't know what it is and you're doing videos on YouTube, you can go to a Google site anywhere, you can Google it, and you can still get the same information. So what they've done to me is pure stupidity of the brain pod. So y'all, what we'll do next, we'll make us about a 150, 200 yard circle all the way around this, just to see what else is in the area right here. And one more thing before I forget it in this video, you all. Uncle Sasquatch, me and him got together and designed a knife, and he's got it finished, and his giveaway YouTube, his giveaway video is live, okay? So be sure you go over to his channel if you'd like a chance on that knife that me and him got together and manufactured. Go check it out and see if you can win it. And good luck, everybody. Where you're at, okay? This makes sense. Another thing, you all, is always have a first aid kit of some kind, because I'll guarantee you'll either use it for yourself one of these days, or you'll find somebody else that you can help out. So always have a good first aid kit in your possession, on you, okay? And one of the things that I like to carry, and it does not come in these kits, is just pure zinc oxide ointment. Zinc oxide ointment, you can put that on a wound, that will cover that wound up, and then you're not going to get bacteria in that wound, okay? Scrapes, cuts, whatever, because that can happen to you. So have a good first aid kit, and always, you've got some type of cordage. So with that cordage, God forbid you have to put a tourniquet on yourself or somebody else, you'll have this stuff with you. Yep, perfect place to sit, you all. It's giving you, when there's no leaves on this, will give you a vantage point of the whole trail that goes right around the edge or the bottom of this set of cliffs right here. So I'm sure if I go that way, I'll find even bigger ones. So if I want to get out of the rain and still hunt, I can come right here and sit on this rock and do my thing. Alright y'all, that's it for this one. I know for a fact that there are some 30-inch bucks in here. I've already seen one this year already. I'm definitely not going to tell anybody else where I saw it, but I was doing a video there a month or so ago and saw a huge buck. So who knows? There are some Boone and Crockett's in here. Nobody's ever saw them in the daylight, hardly at all. But maybe, just maybe, we can sneak in here and get one of them. Thank you all for watching. God bless you. Have yourself a wonderful day.